What's up, gang? Wild man Dan Oniell here, coming at you from Drew's MMA. Just got done our last day of horse sparring. It's a good thing it's my last day because I just burned through all my fighters. Throwing down February 22nd, Pottstown, PA, Sunnybrook Ballroom. Gonna be a slow day. It's my hometown, home territory, baby. Plan to throw fastballs and ball out. If you want to watch some blood, you know where to find me.
All right, I am here with the wild man, Dan Oniell. Am I saying that correctly?
Yep, got it correct. Dan Oniell.
All right, yeah, I watched a bit of your interview there the other day, and so I'm just curious, where did the wild man nickname come from?
My old business partner, who I used to train with a lot, just thought that the way that I did martial arts was sort of wild, and I just kind of full send everything and sort of like go with reckless abandon. So he gave me the nickname, and I thought to myself, yeah, that's a pretty good description of the way I do martial arts. So it stuck.
That's very good, and that will hopefully make for a very interesting fight.
Yeah.
You have a fight February 22nd coming up in Pottstown. It just so happens to be right down the road from your gym. So tell us about your gym a little bit, and tell me about the Sea of Orange.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, Droog's, it's in Pottstown. We have a beautiful like 6,000 square foot facility. It's like part office space, and then it opens up into the back, and there's just this like huge warehouse area. So we got like a cage that we actually bought from you, and you helped us assemble. I know you remember that story. So we've got just a nice big open mat space, and we do all the martial arts there: boxing, kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. So yeah, our gym is like I think it's like 2.5 miles away from the Sunnybrook Ballroom where we'll be fighting. So it is right in our backyard, and super excited to be fighting so close to home.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I sold you these guys a cage a couple years ago, and you punch it in your GPS and you go these days. And I was there, I came back, did that. A couple years later, we fast forward to this fight, and you're like, man, this is right in my backyard. You're kind of like, how come you didn't call me, type of deal, And I'm like, I had no idea. It was right there. So that's really cool. And I know you're headlining this thing, and you sold a ton of tickets there. How did you come up with the Droog's name, and why orange?
Yeah, so again, my old business partner who came up with the idea, he was real big into A Clockwork Orange. I guess he did like a book report on it in high school, and there's like themes of violence in A Clockwork Orange, and I didn't really care one way or the other with it, but I thought orange was a pretty cool color, and I have a penchant for violence myself, so I figured let's just run with it. And so Droog is a play on A Clockwork Orange. It's what the band of ruffians call themselves in the movie and the book.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. All right. How about your martial arts journey? How did you get into this? How many fights have you had? Did you enter the martial arts world with intent on becoming a fighter, or how did the progression all happen?
So I played baseball in high school, but I fight at 135. So my professional baseball aspirations sort of went out the window when I stopped growing and everybody else became 6 foot tall and started throwing the ball 90 miles an hour. So when I went to college, I still wanted to play sports, and the school I went to had a martial arts club. So joined the martial arts club, but it was really just a club. It was just people just doinking around with a little karate here and there, but we didn't really know anything. So I figured that's not really the martial arts I want to do. That's when UFC was coming online at the time, and it was getting real popular. So I went to Juniata College in Huntington, Pennsylvania. So there really wasn't any martial arts gyms in Huntington. So I ended up driving up to State College, and I joined a gym called Central PA Mixed Martial Arts. And there was a really good head instructor by the name of Ryan Groon. His Instagram handle's The Bearded Grappler. He's kind of low key famous on the internet now. He's an Ajarn and Muay Thai black belt under Eric Paulson. So he's a very credentialed martial artist. But I just wanted to do some martial arts, so joined the gym in State College, and I was spending 5, 6 days a week in State College. I essentially have like an honorary degree from Penn State, as much as I was up there. So I would spend my summers in the State College, and I just kept training, and I had lots of fun, and I was becoming one of the better guys in my gym. So I just figured, all right, well, I'll see what competition's about. So I started dabbling in some amateur like jiu-jitsu competitions and some Muay Thai and kickboxing competitions. I even did a little bit of MMA. So in that first stint, I had 3 MMA fights and 10 amateur Muay Thai fights. And that was all throughout college and the summers and everything. But then after college, just became a financial advisor, started doing that. And then I put martial arts down for pretty much most of my 20s. And then COVID came and it shut down all of my other hobbies. So then I got back into martial arts in late 2020 and been doing it ever since.
Oh, interesting. Very good. Very good. Very good. Was your first fight an MMA fight or a kickboxing Muay Thai fight?
It's been so long. My first ever competition was it was like a grappler's quest or something. It was an old school, like just jujitsu competition. I showed up in regular basketball shorts. So my first ever competition was just a jujitsu competition. I think I had 1 or 2 Muay Thai fights before I did my first MMA fight. And I forget the name of so my first few Muay Thai fights were with USKA. That was when Irv Althouse ran the thing. And I was like USKA like 5. So it was like 100 and some USKAs ago. And then, I did a little bit of MMA up in State College as well. But, I can't remember the name of the promotion. I remember the Jaffa Shrine in, where was that? Altoona. That's where, yeah. So my first ever, I didn't know how to cut weight or anything. So my first ever match was against Ethan Goss, who ended up turning into an absolute killer, like double belt holder in the 247 fighting championships. So yeah, I got beat pretty good in that one.
Hey, so I like to ask this question a lot. How do you balance training your students, fighters, and your training yourself? How does that all work at your gym?
I do so much martial arts on a daily basis that it's really just I'm on average maybe teaching 4 classes a day, 6 days a week. So I'm just teaching during the teaching portion of class, and then I just do the live portion of class with my students. So on Saturdays we have like hard sparring days to help people prepare for whatever fights they have coming up, whether it be MMA, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. So we do have like a dedicated hard day where we really go after it. But aside from that, I am just on the mats 7 days a week. So just coaching and training, and between the coaching and training, everybody who is there levels up together.
Awesome. Very good. How are you preparing? Not preparing, but what are your thoughts on fighting Dylan Harnish in a pro fight? This fight came together very interestingly. You had put in an application. We're looking for a fight at 135. Dylan reaches out to me, says he'll take that fight. Possibly, he'll let me know Monday. By the time Monday rolled around, you guys had negotiated a deal. The fight was at 140, then it was at 145, and it was all done. And I'm like, what the hell happened here? Then I'm calling you in a Turkey Hill parking lot saying, okay, let's work the finances out.
Yeah.
So, how did that all come together?
I mean, so me and Dylan like know of each other. We have a lot of respect for each other, and I think we both probably thought that if we were gonna both keep competing in these fight sports long enough, eventually we probably should fight each other. I mean, there's just not that many guys locally that are pro fighters in our weight class. So it's just great for us to get that experience, because it gets another match on our record, keeps us progressing through the ranks and everything. So I just really wanted to fight in Pottstown, and Dylan, I think, just really wanted to sneak one more fight in before his baby gets here. So I was super grateful that he took the fight, and I was willing to work with him on weight and everything. I know he can make 135 in an ideal environment, and I don't particularly enjoy cutting down to 35, so we both just sort of had a gentleman's agreement. Just, hey, we got to fight each other before we train together anyway. So, like, let's just get this one out of the way. Let's make it as pleasant as possible, as like a training camp and everything. And then, we'll, after the dust settles, I'm sure we'll get some rounds together. But I'm really happy that I get to fight Dylan. I just lost a fight to a very crafty southpaw fighter, and Dylan is also a very crafty southpaw fighter. So I feel like I learned a lot in that last fight, and I want to prove to myself that I can now handle that challenge successfully in like a live setting and in a 15-minute fight.
Awesome. Yeah, very good. And so, I interviewed Dylan the other day, and he's not talking trash or anything, but he said something, and I'm like, man, if you were talking trash, that would have been a dig, because I said, how are you training for this fight? And he said, well, my trainer, Eric, he's already got another match in the same day. So I'm driving down to Black Sheep. And he kind of just casually said, yeah, I drive past Drogs to train. And I'm thinking, there's a little
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But you guys plan on training together after this process, obviously cross training and stuff. But how do you feel that he's literally training down the road from you and with some of the other fighters that are going to be on the card?
Well, so the head instructor at Black Sheep, Jeff Knapp, I actually trained with him quite a bit when he was training out of Bill Algio's gym in King of Prussia before he went to start his own gym. So, honestly, Jeff works with like a ton of high-level fighters. He works with Ryan Kim Cafaro, and he's got Scrappy and Letitia Mole and Christian Carr and the Kelly brothers. So, Jeff is a very, very high-level, sought-after coach for like a lot of fighters in the area. I know if he wasn't so close to our gym, truthfully, I would probably be doing a little bit more work with Jeff myself. So he's got a very cool system for like range controls and distance management. And Dylan's a very cerebral fighter, so I can see a lot of Jeff's coaching in Dylan's style. So I don't hold that against him at all. I think that Jeff's a great coach. I know that Scrappy's fighting on the card. She's fighting Elena. They're two of the highest level female amateur fighters, probably in a very large distance. I'm sure they're both looking to make their pro jump. So, but head to toe, this card is stacked, man. You've got Elena versus Scrappy. You got a couple really high level fighters out of King Street, which is another really good local gym. So the Pottstown area is really just becoming like a hotbed for high level martial arts gyms, and I think I'm just really excited that we're all going to get to showcase our skill sets here.
The card, I know I probably say this a lot trying to promote a card, but man, I look at this one and I'm like, holy cow. And like, you talk about King Street and Black Sheep and Drogs, and they're all right there. And then we got gyms coming from just outside the area, like Algio and 717 and Tiger Schulman's. So, man, we're really bringing in a lot. So this is going to be a real entertaining card. And, you probably you definitely have the majority of the tickets sold. So, definitely they're a lot rooting for you. But if there was one fight on the card, if you weren't fighting on this card that you'd want to see, what would that be? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's got to be Scrappy versus Elena. That's like I said, they're both two women who I could see both of them making serious runs in high level non-regional promotions if things break right for either or both of them. So this is it's just interesting to see how that one plays out. So that's a 9-minute fight, but I really wish that was a 15-minute fight. That would be an interesting 15-minute fight.
Yeah. No, that'll be a good one. No, I'm really looking forward to you and Dylan going at it. And I guess the last question about the technicalities of the fight. You knowing Jeff so well and you seeing Dylan fighting and knowing his style. Not what's your strategy, because I don't want you to reveal that, but do you feel you'll be able to pick him apart? How's that going to go?
I don't think I'm going to pick him apart. He has a lot of skill sets that sort of make that a hard thing to do. Truthfully, we have pretty conflicting styles, and I think that's going to lead to a lot of volume and engagement in the fight. I know where his skill sets are. I'm going to try my best to not fight on his battlefield. I'm sure he's going to try his best to really just draw me onto his battlefield and fight the way he likes to fight. And but you're going to see a lot of push pull of me trying to assert my game plan, which is wildly different than his game plan that he's going to try to assert. So it should be a pretty fun one. You know, I am biased because I'm in it, but I think my fight, aside from the ladies' title fight, there is going to be one of the bangers on the card for sure.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, we are at what? February 11th. So we are about 11 days out from this fight. How does your training change, and what are your plans for the next 11 days?
So sold a lot of tickets. So I just want to get to the fight. So taking like a critical injury in this moment is not what I'm looking to do. So, you know, everyone's got their different opinions about when you should shut down the hard sparring. But I've been doing a lot of my fight camp in-house simply because I'm at the gym 7 days a week teaching 4 or 5 classes a day. So I don't have that much time to go elsewhere. So, in my fight camp, we've dealt with a couple broken bones, a couple bad head rattlers, and you know, I'm just sort of, my guys have given me all the work I need. I feel really sharp going into this one. So it's all just sort of theoretical play sparring going forward. We're turning the impact way down now. My last hard sparring was this past Saturday, and just executing my game plan over and over and over again. So it doesn't matter if I'm adrenal, amped up, scared, tired, hurt, whatever. I've got my game plan in my head, and I'm just going to keep running through that and executing that. So just a lot of technical work at this point, a lot of cardio at this point, but not a lot of impact for me anymore.
All right. Sounds like you got it all worked out. The fight is February 22nd. It's at the Sunnybrook in Pottstown. It's right down the road from you. You're going to have a sea of orange, a huge fan base there. I'm really looking forward to many of the fights on the card, but especially you and Dylan. I think you're both great guys for the martial arts world, in addition to great fighters. So it's going to be a real enjoyable one. Dan, I look forward to seeing you February 22nd.
Thanks so much, Gary.